Right, time to go and install the gaskets. Obviously you need to get the rags out of the way. Now do note these gaskets are different, and this one here has got the wiggly shape hole and goes that way round. Oops. Tricky to get it on there, but as you can see, it goes on nicely. Let's do the same on this side. Always remembering to remove the gaskets. Oops, wrong way up. Hang on a second. Yeah, no, that is okay. I did clean these, I'm just a little concerned. Okay, here we go, over there, and over there. Okay, nicely done. Alright, now we've cleaned up the surfaces on this, we've cleaned up the pipes, and this now can go back on here, making sure you align. There we go, alright. Now I can get the nuts on that and get those bolts through there, and that ridiculous bracket and that ridiculous ground. So first things first, let's get the nuts and the bolts on that. Right. Okay, and as you remember, I had to put these in a separate container, and you'll see I've put the rags back in the holes. Really do not want to lose one of these nuts down the hole. Nuts, bolts, bushers, whatever. And it will happen if you don't cover up the holes. If you cover up the holes, it's kind of odd. You kind of approach it more, what's the word? You're not so nervous about it. Which one goes where? I guess I'll have to find out. Okay, then that means that one goes through there, I guess. Oops. Yep, sure does. And then I've got that final one on the top there. And my suggestion is you always start these bolts with your fingers before you go whamming in with a wrench. That way you're pretty sure you haven't cross-threaded anything. Because if you can do it with your fingers, you ain't going to be cross-threading anything. Not with your fingers, guys. There we go. It's not always easy. Of course it's not easy. It's a car. It's not meant to be easy. And then this doggy bone one, that of course will swing back into place, and it will no doubt be the most awkward thing to line up. Not quite sure about this. Let's see. Oh, there we go. And that bolt will go in there. Okay, so these are all fingery tight. Now, so let me get my wrench, tighten these up properly, and then methodically go around and make sure you reconnect things as they should be reconnected, not forgetting stupid little brackets. Okay. Alright, there we go. Right, and until they're tight, I'm going to leave those rags in there. Alright, all the bolts here are now retightened. Everything's back how it should be. This isn't going anywhere. The new gasket is installed, or gaskets. Now is time to put that hose on. This is the hose here. Now, one of the things I do is I get my good old trusted WD-40, give it a spray, and on the inside too, particularly the inside. One of my reasons for doing this is it goes on easy. Now, the bend on this goes at this end, okay? Because obviously that's where it turns up and then needs to level off. So let's get that on there as far as we can. Good. Now let's get it on here. And this is a Toyota hose. I did try to get one from the local parts store. No good, forget it. Alright, now once you get the clip on there, these clips have a little, that's the word, spring. And you gotta get in there and unspring it. Not always easy. So let me see if I can get it done. Whilst we're on camera, so here, through there, and then give it a blink like that. Okay. And let's see if we can do this one too. And do watch your fingers when you do these, because when that thing comes off of there, it do come off with some force, as you can hear. Now, I believe they're in the correct orientation now. We will find out when we try and put the manifold on. And do watch this wire here. There should be a clip there, but it appears to have gone walkabout. So I'm not sure. Should I? Yeah, you see that clip is missing. It's sort of, guess what? It was made of plastic. Oh, what happens to plastic? It breaks. Why is that? Well, because it's on a hot engine, goddammit. Alright, so, yeah, there's no way through there unless I could hold it like that. Yeah, I'm going to put a little cable tie on that. Yeah, I know it's plastic and I know it's going to break, but at least it'll be out of the way. So let me get that done. Alright, before you put this on, do have a good look around. Try and make sure you've done everything up, you've made the connections back that you took off. I've got a hose here I know that's got to go back on. There's nothing fallen in the holes. There's nothing fallen in the well. The connections to the knock sensors are done. The cable is tied up out of the way. Let's see if we can just gently rest this manifold back into position. And I have cleaned up the surfaces of the manifold underneath. Okay, nice and easy. Don't go dropping it. There we go. There we go, that's better. Gotta get it lined up on those studs. Alright, so that's good now. Now, next thing, plug up these holes. Well, you goddamn plugging up all the holes all the goddamn time. What's the matter with you? Goddamn. Yeah, well, that's me, honey. Shove a rag in. Because I'm going to be putting nuts and bolts into the manifold again. And I don't want to lose them inside because they can still get there. Doesn't have to be a lot, just enough to stop it causing a problem. Should you drop a nut, it won't go straight in, and then you can pick it off, either with your hands or a magnet, whichever works. But do remember to remove these before you put everything back together. Alright, so we have got that lined up. Now it's just a matter of getting the nuts and the bolts and putting those back on there, and then we will connect up this hose to get that done. There is another hose down here that has to go back on. Okay, let's move slowly but surely. Then once that's all done, Then we can get the wiring harness back in here and make doubly sure about the back stuff there. Okay. Alright, one thing I do, whether you do it or not, I put every bolt in finger tight, and then just using the, hang on a second, just using my bar here, I just tweak it up with my fingers. Now they have to be tightened down to a certain torque spec and in a certain order, and let me tell you, it is 15 Newton meters or 11 foot-pounds or 133 inch-pounds, and the sequence is as per this here. Found this online on one of the many forums, very helpful. As you can see, you basically start in the damn, I hate using that word, you start in the middle and work your way out in a spiral. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, doom, 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 doom. Crisscross spiral, if you understand me, which I'm sure you do because you're looking at the diagram. Alright, that's what I'm going to do next. I won't bother showing you me doing it because I've just told you what I'm going to do. Then once we've got that done, we get ready to do the rest of the things at that level, and by that I mean the pipes and heater connectors, whatever. Okay, head bolts are now, manifold bolts are now torqued down to the correct spec and in the correct order. Now it's time to start putting things back on, like the hoses and the clamps and the wires. Okay, and again my good old trusted WD-40, give it a good blast, and this stuff does work pretty well because it does make it nice and slippery. Then as soon as you put it on, the hose that is, get your clip and get that done, because sometimes you can forget shit. Well, at least I can. I'm an old fart. There we go, let's make sure we get that on there. Okay, that's that one. We know that is done. We've still got these to do. That's to do with this over here. We'll do that in a second. Just done this one here. Now this is the pain in the ass one. Reason it's the pain in the ass is because the clip is, I don't know, I think they chose the wrong size clip in all honesty, but maybe they said, well, it just works, so just as good, just good enough. So let's see, these are never the easiest, and I don't like these clips, I will tell you that. Oh, you've probably gathered that anyway if you've ever watched any of my videos. Ah, dummy, I didn't. I like it on the outside of the hose. Then when I do get this on there, it should move easily, but it's not. That's what I'm saying about this one being the wrong size. I'm on full with that, and it, oh boy, it is not easy to get on there. Sorely tempted to grab one of my other clips. Still, you enjoy watching me struggle. You know, me puffing and panting. And I must say that if you've been watching this and you're hearing me puffing and panting, do realise I'm laying over this. I'm resting on my chest, so it kind of makes it tricky to breathe. There we go. Wow. See the fun I'm having? Yeah, and of course it's that type of clip, so it doesn't come easy, as Ringo Starr would say. Are we finally on? No, we're not. Good God. This is ridiculous. Finally, there it goes. Whew. There we go. Gotcha, you bitch. Alright, so now, what as I said, is I give these a squirt of WD. At least I do when it works. Hey, what's going on here? There we go. One, it makes it go on easy. Two, it's waterproofing it. Not that really matters in Arizona. Three, it makes it easy for the next poor bugger that comes along and has to deal with it. Missed that one, didn't I? Alright, they are all done. Oh, look at there. They're nicely colour-coded for us. You know, blue. No, actually that goes on a different thing. Alright, so let's start sticking them on, shall we? Put that there out of the way. Get that out of the way. My. There we go. I don't think these can be wrong. You see, they only reach certain points. And with this lovely WD, you hear the way it goes in? Yeah, you do, don't you? Alright, and oh, we got all sorts of different lovely ones here. Let's see if they will go nice and easy. Yep. And you. Oh, yep, there she goes. There she blows. Now these go onto that rail when that swings back over, that one over there. That's what they're for. So I'm not going to worry about those at the moment. Right, so we've done that hose. That's good there. That hose is good there. Next, I'm going to give a good look around to see that I've not missed anything at this level. Now I do know, yes, this has got to come back in. That's my next thing, is to bring the spider back in and reconnect it to these vacuum lines, vacuum lines. So that's the next thing I'm going to do, and then we can what can we do next? Well, we can get ready for the intake manifold and remove all those rags. Whoa. We're progressing slowly. I am not rushing this. The customer said he is not in a rush, and I'm not taking that as I can take as much time as I like, because I have other customers coming up that are expecting me to work on their cars in the next couple of days. But I do like to try and eliminate the possibility that when I start it, I've left a vacuum line off, or a coolant line, or I didn't tighten the clamp, or something. It does happen. I do make mistakes occasionally, but I do my damnedest not to make mistakes. So that's what I suggest you do when you're doing this kind of a job. Just take your time. Don't rush. Don't, have to work on this vehicle at a weekend and then think, oh, well, I'm going to be ready for Monday morning to go to work. You can't have that pressure on yourself, because you will make mistakes. And I know, because I've done it. So I avoid that now. Well, not that I go to work, I work here. But you just take your time, take it easy. Think about what you're doing. Make sure when you're plugging a connection in, it really does lock in properly. Take that little extra time. Squirt a WD-40. Okay, you don't like the look of it, it looks a bit messy now, but don't worry, I will spray it with brake cleaner, and that will clean off the residue on the outsides. So it's just give it a bit of thought. Or just do what the hell you please and ignore me. I'm just trying to put out there what I think may be helpful hints, and if you don't like them, that's your choice. Don't watch my videos, I guess. Alright, let me now get my flashlight out here and look around. I'll be back. As I mentioned, it always pays to double check. I discovered I hadn't put this hose on fully enough. It was back about 1/4 of an inch. May not have made a difference to anything, but I've got to do it. And also I have these injector connectors to do. So it's always worth just going and looking and seeing and saying, yes, everything's fine, and oh no, it's not. Look, I forgot this. I forgot that. Now these are kind of important. Injector connector, Hello, I'm injector connector. Alright. Yes, and there's a hose that belongs on that. Where is that hose, we ask ourselves. Got a feeling it's on the manifold, so we won't forget that one. And there is a hose here and a hose here, which are these ones. Okay, let's just move that to the side. Slip this in here. Okay, we'll slip that on. He says, is that correct? Yes, it is. Alright, I just need to get it on. I've got to get it on. There we go. These ones, fortunately, the clips are, finger clips. So it makes it a lot easier. This one, of course, is in an awkward place. So I may get my pliers on this one, just so I can push it in. That's hurting my fingers. You know, like the pain. Okay. Oh, please don't look at my bench. I'm so ashamed of it. Let's slip this in here. There we go. Go on. There we go. Down there. That's it. Get on there. There we go. Are you in the right spot? Certainly would appear so. Okay, good. All right. Okay. Oh, and I've got this one here. Ah, ooh, oh, hang on, boys. Hang on. That is not right. See? Pays to pay attention. It also pays to have a video or even a, come on, engage brain cell, picture. This one, I believe, and I'm going to double check it, because you've got to make sure you get these things right. Oh, come on, come on, come on. I see my light flickering. I'll get this done before the light dies. That's more like it. There we go. Alright, yes. And then this one, ooh, I have to come in underneath to get onto here. And this one. There we go. Alright. Now, I believe I've got those in the correct order. That's the trouble. Too many pipes. But I will now check the video to make sure. Back in a moment. I'm pretty much at the last stage now, and I'm going to wrap this video up. Obviously you guys can put back on what you've taken off. Just a couple of things to remember, things like this vacuum line. Make sure you put that back on. Make sure you reconnect this hose. And something I do, and you can do what you like, is I get the original bolts and go, okay, so that one fits there, and that one fits there, and that one fits there. And then what I've done on this particular one, because this is the real bitch of a bolt, I just put some copper grease in there, so it will go in easy. Now, it's not going to affect it in any way, shape or form. Once you get a good old tighten on it, that'll be terrific. Also, this stud here, there's a nut obviously that goes on there, but that's where all those earth wires went. So you kind of got to remember that when you're doing these things. I've cleaned up the surface here with some brake. Alright, not quite sure where that ended because the battery on my camera died. It went down on me, and I do like things to go down on me. Oh, sorry, women to go down on me. This manifold now I'm about to put back in. As I know I previously mentioned, you don't need to watch me put things back in. You've taken them out, you can put them back in. There were just a few things there that I'd liked to show you. The rest of it is pretty simple. putting it all back in, connecting everything up. The bolts on the back here obviously I will take out before I put the manifold in, otherwise I'm going to be looking for the bolts, and making sure I get all the ground wires, the vacuum lines, the water lines, the cocaine lines. No, that was the 80s. Get it all back in there, putting gaskets back in, giving it a bit of a clean, nothing too much, just giving it a good old blast of brake cleaner, and then refilling the cooling system, because don't forget that, you emptied it, you got to fill it back up again. And then, fingers crossed, if I've done everything right, it'll start. Then we'll clear the codes. Now, he did have other codes with an evap leak. And what I did discover, this hose here, it was only connected at one end. I'm hoping that was the issue. I'm not quite sure how it happened. I'm going to make a guess that whoever changed the air filter disconnected this pipe and didn't reconnect it. I don't know that for a fact. It is purely a guess on my part, because I know one end of this was connected, but this end was not connected. That would be nice, because that means then I don't have to do a smoke down, leak down test on this engine, and I can give it back to the customer and say, there you go, buddy, I've fixed everything, and by the way, those other codes I fixed ain't going to cost you a dime. That would be nice. I do like to treat my customers well. I hope they appreciate it. I believe they do. I'm not a mechanic that rips people off. Believe that if you will. It's true. But there you go. And girls, if you're watching this video, which I kind of doubt, but I don't give a damn. You come here, I'll treat you the same as I'll treat a guy. I'll show you what needs to be done. I'll tell you what needs to be done. I'll be honest with you, and I will not shaft you. No, let's not even go on there. It's a bad sense of humour I got. I can't help it. I'm sorry. You're going to have to put up with that humour. There we go. So anyway, this is the end of this particular video. This is part 3. There should have only been one. I'm going to put this back on. I will torque it down to the correct spec, which I'm sure you can find out anyway. And there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts on it anyway, so it's not like it's rocket science on this particular one. Thank you for watching, guys. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, comment, and if you want to send me an email for some reason, you can do that at gstargarage@gmail.com, and that is GSTARR at gmail. Sorry, rewind. gstargarage, GSTARRGARAGE at gmail.com. I'm jiggling my head around, and that is not good when you're videoing. Sorry. Okay. Hopefully you got that. I will put the email address up at the end of this video, just in case you don't speak English. Gute Nacht, mein Freunds.